Hey there, everyone. It's Michelle Lisa Anderson, and I just got done working out, and I was thinking about you, and I thought I need to make a video. I don't look my prettiest. This is real, but I love the idea of being real with you and not having to wear makeup or do my hair because I want to be authentic and I want to present everything that's the good, the bad, the ugly, all of it to you. So I hope you find it as freeing, as empowering as I do. But today I just wanted to talk to you a little bit about Christmas time and share with you a story, a very personal story that I go into a little bit of detail with in one of my programs. But so Christmas time for me is really important because it is the time of year many years ago that I decided to leave my alcoholic and substance abuser. And I had been married with him for 10 years. And Christmas time was always miserable because family would be coming in. So I would feel the pressure to make a great meal and have all the presents. Plus my kids were in school, so I had tons of events to go to with that. And then I was always worried about whether he would be drinking or using drugs in front of my family and completely humiliate me, or with my kids, letting them down to see their father passed out or just pick up and leave, which he's done in years past. So I was always full of anxiety, and it was never, and I felt pressure to be happy because of the songs and the movies and the people all around us saying how we should feel joy, which I wasn't feeling at all, and that almost made me feel even more shameful than normal. So I remember for years wondering whether I should leave him or stay with him. And it honestly sometimes depended on the hours or sometimes depended on the days. But I always would be back and forth. If he had had a big night out and was drinking and I found him passed out, or he'd done cocaine and he was, a bloody nose or whatever, I felt like, okay, I'm done. This is it. It's over. No matter what happens, I need to leave. But if he was sober for a couple days, or when we first got together, he was capable of being sober for months at a time. I was married to him forever, for the rest of my life, because I believed in him and I saw the potential. And I saw the man he was created to be, and I remembered why I fell in love with him. So for 10 years, I had gone back and forth about whether I should leave or whether I should stay. And it wasn't until Christmas, many years ago, where he had quit drinking for the time being, but somehow he had rationalized that pot was okay. So now he was having to get high on a regular basis. Going to the mall with the family, he would need to get high. Going out to the movies before, he would need to smoke a joint. And of course it did not feel right to me, because it was still seeing a guy who was, out of his mind looking at me. He wasn't clear-headed. He wasn't present. He was in another world. He was glazed. And that didn't feel good either. But I sort of wanted to justify it because, hey, it was better than slurring his words. At least he could be functional. At least he could go places. And so I kind of was trying to make peace with this new form of addiction in our life. And my daughter, who was 6 at the time, needed to go to the bathroom. And our upstairs bathroom wasn't working. So she said, Mom, I really need to go, but Daddy's in the downstairs bathroom. Can you tell him to hurry up? So I went to the bathroom and I knocked on the door, and he's like, yeah, just 1 second, just 1 minute. And I said, okay. And she's waiting outside, and she's crossing her legs. She's like, I really got to go. And I'm knocking on the door again. I'm like, please hurry. She's got to go. There's no other place, to take her. And he finally comes out, and the door opens, and a swoosh of pot smoke just comes pouring out of that tiny little room. And she's oblivious. So she goes and sits down on the toilet. And he walks by me, and I never will forget it. The look on his face, his eyes, he just looked at me, he had a smirk on his face, and he had just these dazed eyes. And he just walked right by me smiling. And then I looked at my daughter who was going to the bathroom, and I remember the exact place on the wallpaper. I could give you, it's a picture in my mind perfectly, where I thought, that's it. I'm done. I'm not doing this anymore. I'm out. 10 years of going, should I stay? Should I go? Should I stay? Should I go? That moment, it just became absolutely clear to me, I'm done. He can mess with me all he wants, but he cannot mess with my babies. And that was my codependency speaking, because he should not be able to mess with me either. But seeing my daughter inhaling this and being around this, there was some sort of motherly instinct that came up in me that was like, I will do anything. And I literally had to do almost anything. I had to call a shelter because I had no money, and I didn't graduate college, so I didn't have this amazing resume. I hadn't worked in 7 years. I'd worked my way up very high in corporate America, but I had, quit when I had babies. So I, had no great references from that were recent. We had no money because addiction is broke, and he would spend it all on his drugs and his prostitutes and his drinking. And none of my family knew. None of my friends knew, and none of my family knew. For years, that long, I had protected him. They thought he was a great guy. So I knew I'm going to be embarrassed by my community. I'm going to have to come clean with my parents. I'm going to have to possibly get a job and put my kids in daycare, because I had 3 young kids. I think my youngest was 1. This is going to be a huge disruption to my life. This is going to be completely embarrassing to my friends. This is going to be a big wake-up call for my family. But you know what? When you know and you have that conviction that you need to go, that enough is enough, the line has been crossed, there's no point of return, then all of a sudden it just becomes incredibly clear. And for those of you that are struggling like I had been with back and forth, that's why I always tell you, forgive yourself for staying today, because you reserve the right to change your mind tomorrow. And your tomorrow might be tomorrow, or it might be a year from now, or it might be 5 years from now. Or it might be never. And you might decide to make peace with this disease, and that's okay too. So what I'm trying to say is, this Christmas holiday just reminded me, be kind and gentle with yourself. Don't put the pressure of trying to figure out whether you should stay or leave. Don't put the pressure on yourself trying to impress, to pretend to have this perfect family unit or this perfect life that you're together. Be kind to yourself, be loving to yourself, because when I actually took the leap of faith and decided to come clean with my friends and my family, it was so freeing and so empowering that how many people came to my side and showed up at my door and helped me through that I never would have imagined would even care, or I thought they would completely judge me, and they did not. And that is another thing, and I'll do another video on this topic, because I've been thinking a lot about the secrecy of this disease. But if you give yourself one gift this holiday, please make sure that you just tell one person, that you trust one person with this, with your secret, if you've kept this a secret. Because keeping it a secret, as long as I did, kept it toxic and kept me sick. And it prevented me from getting healthy. I would have healed a lot quicker. I would have gained a lot more courage faster if I had been more open about what was really going on in my home. So I hope this helps you. And again, I was going to apologize for the way I look, but I'm not going to apologize for the way I look. I look beautiful just the way I am, sweaty and stinky and all. And I love you all, and I'm going to go take a shower now and get cleaned up. And I'm here for you every step of the way. Talk to you later.